So let's talk about stillness, though. What, why, and when? What's a use? Give us practical applications.
Of why stillness matters.
What is stillness?
Stillness is its own definition, to be still.
Okay. Now, we're not talking about sitting and being physically still. We're talking about mentally still.
Oh, both.
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 Okay.
Because sometimes to be mentally still, you must be physically still.
It does help.
Yes. You could be still mentally as you're walking. You could be still as you're even doing something like a sport or running or house cleaning. You know, that could be. But when we talk about stillness, we're talking about literally sitting down or standing or laying, and you're letting energy rest.
Expel. Mm-hmm. So part of that being, and you and I have discussed this, my favorite thing is stillness, because I have found that thoughts are much more, not just profound, but they can be more profound.
Yes, it can.
But they're much more calculated when I am still. So the first thing I will do, and this is a form of stillness, is there's 7 things happening and everything's running. Denise hates this. Denise is my assistant. But as soon as 7 things are happening and it's getting too much, I'll just stop.
Yes.
And I'll just sit back.
Yes.
Take a breath. And she's always like, you got to do things. I'm like, I'm not doing anything.
You're not doing anything.
I'm not. I want to calculate my way out of this. We're not making mistakes. Let's just relax. And that's one form. Very like low level, I would say, stillness. All the way over to sitting at home, relaxed, no TV on, no nothing, and just letting my thoughts enter. And that's a different form of stillness.
Yes. Yes,
and
it
it's
is.
a process of self-evaluation happens at best in stillness. No?
Yes. It's like so perfect that he was like here in the middle of stillness.
In the middle of stillness. That's what.
Because if I didn't practice stillness, it was once upon a time where I couldn't handle that. There was once upon a time where I was. So the bothering portion is, I have an idea of how this should work, right? I have an idea that he shouldn't be in here. I have already an understanding about his tendencies, his propensities, his patterns. So then I cross-reference. Should those patterns belong in here? This is like what's happening at a micro level, right? So like those patterns shouldn't be here. Why shouldn't they be here? Because they present a threat. A threat to what? A threat to my attention. A threat to my focus. Well, I don't like that because I want my focus to look like this way. Well, if my focus looks like this way, that's going to be a threat to that. We don't like that. So then all of a sudden something would go off in my nervous system and my nervous system would tense up. But because it would fix it, you need to yell at it. You need to, like whatever it is, we need to end it. We need to control it, right? It's a very simple subconscious response that says something is out of place and we need to move it. I don't like what's happening. We need to change it. Right? Like the expectation is not fitting the reality. The expectation is you're out there, you're not in here. All of a sudden, now those two realities meet and we have to shift. We have to assess. We have to take a higher vantage point and go, how can I create a better resolution here? And so there was once upon a time where my whole body would go off and I would rush at it.
To fix
quick. Because I've been practicing stillness, because I know how to be still, because I know what goes on at a subconscious level for me regarding those little threats, because I've done enough work to know, why are you acting that way, Jamie? Why do you react? Why is your body doing what it's doing? I can feel the nervous system response in my body as he comes in here. I feel it from the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. I feel the tenseness on my skin and I go, put your feet further into the ground. I said, okay.
Physical practice.
Put your feet further into the ground. Put all of the energy that's going on from the top of your head. Now put it down. These are stillness practices that I've had to learn to overcome certain anxious responses. Certain responses where I go, uh-oh, what happened?
Stillness really is the opposite of anxiety. If you want to be honest about it.
It is you could say it's a counterpart, right? So if anxiety was the symptom, stillness is the medicine.
Medicine, absolutely.
Right. So but the stillness is a training yourself to be at ease.
And a personal, and this part of it actually varies from person to person, but my personal goal is to have the highest amount of stillness for the longest amount of time. That's what I'm looking for in life.
Yes.
It's my purpose.
Then you're going to be completely in a meditative state always.
Maybe whatever the hell it is, doesn't matter. As long as it's that,
yeah.
I'm good.
I'm just like, oh, you want to be in stillness forever. Okay, essentially what you just said, I want to be in stillness forever. Another way of saying this, and I'm gonna go straight there,
Go.
is that you're essentially saying I'm going to be seated in the presence of God.
Yes. After last experience, I can agree with that reluctantly.
I'm going to be seated in the presence of God all my
Right.
days. And you can practice that because that's essentially what we're wanting to do, is train our reference point. Is to say, I'm going to sit in that stillness. I'm going to sit in the presence of God. And I'm going to do that beginning with meditation. I'm going to be doing that beginning with prayer. Well, then we go into, what is prayer? Well, prayer is an act of stillness.
And we left prayer off of this. Oh no, we have spirituality, but we should have had prayer right up there.
Prayer is prayer is foundational for stillness.